This is Soundoff60, Southwest Louisiana's premier sports show.
Moon may be over. You tell us. How does Ed Orgeron handle that immense pressure in college football to win, and of course, what comes being the LSU head coach?
You understand the expectations of LSU. Have the same expectations of myself and my staff. Yeah. I've been at Miami, I've been at USC when you expected to win. That's the reason I wanted the job.
Soundoff60 is presented by Merchants and Farmers Bank, where your future is our history. And brought to you by Relief Windows, for replacement windows, doors, and storm force windows. ReliefWindows.com. Here are the guys, Rick, Scooter, and Kevin.
Good evening, boys and girls. We're going to open up this edition of Soundoff60 with a warning. And the warning is, do not kick any moving balls, okay? Unless it's a soccer ball, all right? Seeing it's a World Cup. You know it's World Cup going on. Welcome to the show. All right, great show, great lineup tonight. Let me first off by saying that we have a couple of guests under the roof here at Jack Daniels. Our resident orthopedic surgeon expert, Dr. Brett Cassio, will join us a little bit later on in the show to talk about shoulder injuries, rotator cuff injuries, problems with the wing. How timely is that?
Who would that be?
You were kind of the genesis of this conversation, by the way. Yeah, really. No, we've got a lot, we're going to cover some stuff, either from, going back to the Drew Brees shoulder surgery, your issues, Andrew Luck's issues with the Colts, and just, I run into guys locally, just in the last 3 or 4 weeks, I got a shoulder problem. I got to get a rotator cuff surgery, kids in baseball. We're going to cover that with Doc Cassio. So if you got a young baseball player under your roof, stay tuned for that segment later on in the show. Also, Derek Smith, the PGA Director of Golf from Mallard Cove, will talk to us about the upcoming City Golf Championship at Mallard Cove. So that's our two guest promo in the fourth chair tonight.
Have you and Scooter, just a question out of the blue, have you and Scooter ever played in the city championship?
I've never.
Twice, I think.
When? Were you like 19 then?
No.
Wow.
No.
Okay.
That was a shot, wasn't it? That was a little shot.
I know how much you guys love golf, and I just thought you guys would have probably somewhere down the line participated in it.
I have thought about it, but every year the game just goes further and further in the toilet. I do not want to embarrass myself. I don't even think they have a flight low enough for me, okay?
Right now, I'm not sure they do for me.
Really? All right, we'll just leave that for the young bucks out there. All right, a lot to talk about. Speaking of golf, nice segue, Mr. Guidry.
Yes.
U.S. Open golf. My little tidbit about the warning is in reference to Phil Mickelson, one of your favorite players.
Because he's lefty.
We're going to cover that in our second segment because it's very controversial. A lot of national discussion about it.
Yes.
But let's not overlook what Brooks Koepka did at this U.S. Open on that course, on that setup. Yes, it was one over, Hobbs.
Yes.
But my gosh, did he take control of the weekend.
Is not unusual for the U.S. Open. But if the talk is not about Bruce Koepka, the USGA has nobody but itself to blame.
You're correct on that. You're correct on that.
The talk of that tournament is not Bruce Koepka. It's what a clown show we had to watch, particularly on Saturday.
Yeah.
You're talking about the course setup.
Yes.
Not so much Mickelson, but the course setup. Yeah.
Yes.
We're going to cover that in depth, and I'm sure we'll save some time to get into that with Derek Smith and get his opinion on it. As a PGA professional and as a teaching pro, I mean, the course setup was just ridiculous. And I think the rough is ridiculous. I mean, come on. Get a bush hog out there.
Are we going to talk at length about this now?
Yes, in the next segment, not right now.
Oh, okay.
This is just a tease.
But these are professionals, though, and I can see why Scooter may be a little bit tipped at what maybe took place on Saturday.
Professional or not, it just got ridiculous, okay?
Wow.
All right. That's one of the subjects we want to cover. Lake Charles City Golf Championship, a lot of former pros, and we'll get into that with Derek Smith as well. Washington Marion, let's talk a little about this in our first segment. Washington Marion is without a head coach right now, unless they did some hiring right now, Kevin, which I don't think so.
Not that I know.
Last week, Freddie Harrison submitted his resignation. Let's call it that. I don't know if he was pushed out. I've not talked to Freddie as yet.
I have not either.
7, 8 years at the helm with the Charging Indians. Some successful, some not. He had some rough goes.
Pretty good athletes come through there.
Yeah, he did. And he got into the postseason, but some would argue, like Mr. Hobbs in the middle, and to a degree myself, everybody pretty much gets into the playoffs. Time for a move or not, guys? I mean, 8 years in one spot?
I don't know. I would love to talk to Freddie.
I would, too.
Because I think Freddie is a really good coach.
Good character guy.
I really
good character guy.
I think he's a good coach. Forget
Yeah.
character. I think he's a good coach. And I hate to think this is it for him. You know, I would love to see Freddie get back in.
Young guy.
I mean, yeah.
I don't think
he's
this
got
is-
plenty
Freddie
of-
does a lot, guys. I mean, Freddie serves on the Louisiana High School State Association Board. He does a lot. And you know what? Sometimes you have to put coaches in situations that are best for the kids. And I've always thought that Freddie being at Washington Marion was a good fit for the kids that were there. Because not only was he a good coach, but I think they looked up to him as a father figure, as a mentor, just because of the way he carried himself around those kids.
Right.
And not every coach can do that. And that's why I always thought that was a good fit for Freddie.
Westlake quarterback.
Yeah?
Went to Northwestern State as a demon early. Transferred to McNeese.
McNeese.
All right. Played his last year, maybe year and a half, as a Cowboy, and then got right into local coaching here.
Well, he
when-
played some. He
I
played
think
some
you got
indoor
it backwards,
football.
though. When
He played
McNeese
some indoor
first, then
football.
Northwestern.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Am I wrong on that? Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Whichever.
Yeah. And also, you missed out. He played indoor football
Yes, he
for
did.
quite.
You're right. And then he
quite a
went
number of
into
years.
local coaching.
Yes,
staffs.
yes.
You know, I think he coached under his former head coach, Max Calderera. He was on that staff for a little bit and got some good experience before going
Yes.
to Faraday, I believe.
Yes.
Was Freddie's first job.
Yes.
And then brought home down to Washington Marion. Outside of his coaching resume and his abilities, the best voice when it comes to high school football coaches. When he spoke, you knew it was Freddie Harris.
You knew.
I mean, that baritone came
I mean, you
through,
knew.
guys,
You
and-
knew.
And I'm sure
You knew.
it got his attention of the
You knew.
players. You
You
know,
knew.
one of the interesting aspects locally, he is going to, now the school, Washington Marion, when they kick off 2018, 3 new area coaches is going to be coaching early on.
Yeah.
Chad Laverne at St. Louis,
Uh-huh.
taking over for Coach Cryer, Charlie
Right.
Cryer.
Who has a
Mar-
job in Slidell?
Got another
Yeah.
job, I think, a parochial school.
Yes,
is
it
not? And then Mariko Wilson is taking over for Jules Sullen at LaGrange.
LaGrange.
High School. And now unknown at Washington Marion.
Yeah.
So, you know, I think a little unusual when you say 3 coaches. New, start the year in this area.
Yeah, and
I can see you.
three, good programs too.
Yeah.
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 But have been, struggling a bit.
Yeah, but I mean,
Yeah.
That happens.
It does.
And Rick, when you look at those schools, just looking at it geographically, proximity, they're all kind of fighting for some of the same players. If you think about what I'm saying, that can make it tough also.
I don't want to open up this Pandora's box, but I will say this. From what I have heard and what somewhat little I know, this out-of-school district movement thing going on in the parish,
Minority and majority.
Exactly.
it's getting to be kind of a free-for-all.
Yes, it is.
I mean, we
It
got
is.
kids that live in Salford that's going to school in Lake Charles.
Yeah.
And I'm not being judgmental.
Vice versa.
I don't know enough
Vice
about
versa.
it. I mean, we've got kids moving all over the place. They get waivers, they get permission, however that system works.
You've got kids that live in North Lake Charles go to Barb. How is
Okay.
that? How is that?
Minority and majority.
I know. I mean, I know
Okay.
that, Scoot. I know that.
You said it. You said it. There's a lot of, they're competing. all
Yes,
right?
they are.
Which then leads to believe, all right, and we talked about it on this show, high school head coaches are under pressure to win,
Yes, they are.
especially in football.
And the thing is,
because
Rick,
their principals want them to win.
And the thing
fans,
is, Rick-
mom and dads want them to win.
you've got to be able to have a group of young men that can give you a W each week. But if you've got kids that want to come to the school because their mom, their dad, their sister, their brother may have gone there, but if you can't reach outside of that barrier and look at kids that are talented, that are athletes, that you need in your program, Rick, you're going to struggle.
Well, plus the numbers.
You're going to struggle.
Plus the numbers. If you don't have numbers,
You're gonna
it's tough.
struggle,
It's
and
tough
that's
for
key.
LaGrange to compete at the 5A level. All right, we'll break it here. We'll toss it to break. When we come back, we'll talk U.S. Open golf, Brooks Koepka and Phil Mickelson, and so much more. In about 2 minutes when we come back. Stay right.
Soundoff60 is presented by Jack Daniel's Bar and Grill at LaBerge Casino Resort.
For nearly 85 years, Merchants and Farmers Bank has provided dependable personal banking for Central and Southwest Louisiana. I saw your new boat last week, Chuck. Looks like fun. We have 8 convenient locations, checking and savings accounts, online bill pay, mortgage and personal loans, Even a new app that allows you to take a picture of your paycheck and deposit it. Can't wait to see your kitchen remodel, Pam. Come in today to open a personal account. Merchants and Farmers, your future begins with our history.
You don't have to sacrifice taste to stay in the game. Miller Lite, always brewed to have more taste and be less filling. Miller Lite, hold true.
On or off the field, training and experience matter. As a board-certified and fellowship-trained surgeon, Dr. Brett Cassio has the training and experience to help you get back in the game. Award-winning research, the latest orthopedic techniques, right here at home. Cassio Sports Medicine.
Only one light beer has more taste, less calories, and half the carbs. This one. Miller Lite. Hold true.
Well, Relief Windows is going to get quality. We're going to make sure that the job is actually ordered correctly. Experienced measure tech, experienced salesman, experienced installer. Service. Customer satisfaction. That's our #1 product. At Relief Windows, you're going to get somebody going to show up on time, do what they say they're going to do. Nobody's going to run with your money. We're going to take care of you. At Relief Windows, we're not only windows, we're windows, doors, hardy plank, and vinyl siding. But our #1 product is customer satisfaction.
All right, welcome back, boys and girls. Round 2 of Soundoff60. It's time to get into the U.S. Open Golf. Coming up in the next segment, we'll have Derek Smith from Mallard Cove, Director of Golf.
Yes.
Out at Mallard Cove to talk about the Lake Charles City Golf Championship coming up. And, you know, we're going to talk to him about that course setup a little bit. And maybe a little bit about that rule with Phil Mickelson. Let's at least congratulate Brooks Koepka for the win.
Yeah.
Back-to-back
Back to
U.S.
back.
Open.
You know,
First time since the late 80s.
I was watching it, and I don't know how it escaped me or I forgot that he was on the back 9 before I realized he was going for back-to-back.
You really?
Yeah.
You forgot
I don't know how I forgot from last year.
Last year it was Aaron Hills, I believe, which is another trumped-up course. No pun to that. No
Trumped up.
pun
Wow,
to the
Rick.
president or anything.
Wow.
But, you know, a great effort for a guy who's this is his 3rd win. He's won 2 U.S. Open and he won in Phoenix.
That's pretty good.
2 U.S. Opens.
Pretty good,
and 1
man.
PGA stop.
Wow.
And he's a soft hands, big guy, can bomb the ball down the course. Congratulations for grinding it out. He beat Tommy Fleetwood of England by 1 stroke and Dustin Johnson by 2. What did Fleetwood do? 63.
Yeah.
Tied
63.
Johnny Miller's U.S. Open record for a round of 63.
How did he shoot at
misread an
63,
8-foot
man?
putt for a 62.
Jeez.
All right, so Koepka wins it. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Great tournament overall. Good drama near the end. Let's go to Phil Mickelson. All right, everybody who follows sports has probably seen it. The ball was rolling. He gallops toward the putt that was literally going to go off the green, probably 30 more yards. It's ridiculous. He jogs to his ball and then turns around quickly and putts the moving ball back toward the hole. Almost made it. Technically speaking,
Scooter, that is the
technically speaking, when I saw it, I thought disqualification.
Yeah.
I'm laying there on the couch. I'm thinking, how do they handle it?
How do you do that?
But with the rules, and the way they kind of twisted it, I didn't want him disqualified.
There is a rule they could have used that could have disqualified him. I mean, you know the old Watergate story of the cover-up was worse than the crime?
Yes.
To me, almost his explanation was worse than the crime.
Really?
Really?
You talking about Mickelson or the USGA?
The USGA.
Mickelson.
Mickelson, really? Why you say that, Scoot?
Well, it was obvious to me. He just snapped, got frustrated.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. And yet afterwards,
you blame him?
It was very calculated in that I would take the 2-stroke penalty.
Yes.
Rather than let the
ball
go
go
all
up
the
in the
way
water.
down there.
Yeah.
Well, when he says that, all right, to me there is a difference. He said to take advantage of the rule. To me, there is a difference in using the rule to your best advantage and taking advantage of the rule.
Okay. I think I'm following.
When you use the rule to your advantage, that means after you have played, you may have options, and one option may be better than another.
I see you.
Okay. Whereas the ball's rolling down the green.
Yeah. Yeah, it was rolling.
You slap it back, that is taking advantage of a rule. It is.
And that's what he said.
Nowhere, yes,
That's what
but
he
that
said.
is nowhere within the spirit of the game or the rule.
I agree.
Let me ask you this,
He also said, let me interrupt you.
It is actually, y'all can believe this. I know you will. I one time putted into a water hazard.
Yeah.
Off the green, into a water hazard.
Yeah. Right.
Well, it definitely would have been better for me to do that to keep it out of the water hazard.
Exactly. He
I
also,
don't know if I could have caught up with
No, not you.
I see your point.
He
I see your
also
point.
said, Mickelson did, that he has thought about doing this before. And he decided, he said, this was the time I'm just going to do it.
Because it doesn't happen that often. That's
I'm just saying what the man said.
That's what drew the attention.
At first, I was convinced. He just doesn't want to admit he was frustrated and mad at himself. But the more I watched it, you can almost see when, like, something went off in his head. I don't know that I'm going to knock this back. Was that the realization?
I don't know.
I never did buy that. I mean, I don't care where the ball ends up. Who say he doesn't chip in from where he ends up?
Yeah, but doggone it. You hit a putt. You hit a putt. It was not a great putt.
No, he
But
hit a bad putt.
the course setup, and the ball's going to roll off the green 30 yards down
because
the
the course
damn
is
fairway.
set up. Because that's the course
not
setup.
Right.
Yeah, I agree, Rick. Because that's the course setup.
The USGA,
well, that's part 2 of our discussion.
All right, but they put the holes on these slopes and undulations, and they're
turtlebacks.
out.
Turtlebacks is what they call them.
You miss it by a quarter of an inch.
It's going to
roll.
roll.
30
it's going to
yards.
roll.
That's not fair.
Well,
and that's not
you
right.
were talking.
That's
in
not
the
right.
USGA, a US Open, somewhere around par, somewhere around par is supposed to win it.
Right.
Okay. But the way they get there is my complaint. If they want to grow the rough 10 feet high, make it truly penal, okay, you shouldn't hit it there. All right. But the USGA and their obsession with turning greens into marble tops, I don't understand that. I mean, you leave it totally up to chance then.
I got you.
Well, why are they obsessed with
Augusta National has very fast greens. But they're different
not that
greens.
hard.
That's right. Now, this, as Zach Johnson said, and they admitted, the course got away from them on Saturday. It got away from them.
They said they had to know going in.
You would think.
They've done it before on the same course.
To know that that's the way it was
They're
going to be.
obsessed with this, pushing the envelope.
Exactly
and
right.
I don't understand the thinking that makes it a better test of golf.
I agree.
If you leave it totally up to chance, a space of 6 inches or so.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
Kevin, it got warm, it got breezy, the greens got hard. They said we didn't anticipate.
That wasn't a factor. I mean, like that wasn't a possibility.
It's the pin placement. It's the pin placements.
No, it's the
yes,
way
they
they
admitted
do
it.
the
All the
but the
pros
thing-
admitted it. It was the pin placements. And once they slowed down the greens and they had a slight variation of these pin placements, instead of being up like this.
Yeah,
and
turtlebacks.
You don't go all the way down the
if you don't hit it exactly right, like Scooter said, you leave it up to chance, it's going to roll 10, 15 feet. But the thing is,
some people were saying, well, it was only 3 or 4 holes. That was not fun to watch. And I didn't enjoy watching any hole.
Let me ask this.
Knew where the ball was
Go ahead.
Let me ask this, guys. The way the course was set up, do you see how good some golfers are in the world?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, is that maybe the reason why they
Tiger,
put
Rory,
placement where they
Jordan Spieth, some of the best in the
world. I know.
Missed
Struggled.
the cut.
Struggled.
Missed the cut.
So Scooter, is that something that says, is it really that bad, or is it something that maybe they could do a little bit better of?
I just don't understand the USGA's infatuation
Of making it
with
hard.
No, make the course hard.
Make it hard.
Make it as hard as you can, but find another way than turning these These greens harder
Well,
than
it's
this.
also you know,
And let me
Shinnecock.
say this, and this is going to sound totally crazy. I love the Mike Davis guy, the guy that's head of the USGA.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, anybody's got
Every
that
year
much,
he apologizes for
I
something,
know,
but go ahead.
Every year he does. But anybody's got that much passion for anything.
Yeah.
I got you.
But I'm telling you, this happens too much.
It does.
Yeah.
With you, and like next year, if I'm Pebble Beach,
Yeah.
I don't want the USGA to get near
Nowhere
my
around.
golf course.
Let Pebble
That
Beach
is
run.
too great of a golf
You're
course.
right.
Yeah.
To be tricked up like that.
Aaron Hills last year, Chambers Bay.
Yeah.
There's certain courses that they just leave it alone.
Yeah.
There are a lot of great historic
And
golf courses
they
in
should
this
do
country.
that.
In
If
this
I
country.
remember
Choose
the
better
last
ones.
time they were at Pebble Beach, they had trouble with one hole. I believe it was number 14. The monster I played in.
Yeah,
you know.
yeah, I know.
Yeah, you have.
And I think I bogeyed that hole in Pebble. But they had problem with one, and that green has since been changed a little bit at Pebble. So
All right.
they
That's
should
where-
have
that's where it
trouble.
will be next year.
And
And,
if they screw up Pebble Beach,
They're not
It's
gonna
done.
Pebble Beach. All right, when
They
we
need
come
to
back,
burn
It's done.
Mallard
Yes.
Grove, Director of Golf, Derek Smith, will talk maybe a little bit about the USGA, maybe
Yes.
a little bit about
I
the
think he's
setup,
got something to
Nicholson,
say about it.
and
I do.
also primarily the City Golf Championship of Lake Charles coming up this weekend. Stay right there. We're coming right back.
Soundoff60 is presented by Jack Daniels Bar and Grill at La Berge Casino Resort. Check us out online at soundoff60tv.com.
This is Brandon Holly, 6'2", former college football player. He and his steel crowbar can't get through this storm force impact window from Relief Windows. Call 337-456-1699.
Enjoy a more reliable, responsible, intelligent, and connected indoor environment that easily adjusts to your preferences, no matter where you are. Uncompromising, unmistakable. Luxair. Get connected with a Luxair dealer near you by visiting luxair.com/solar supply.
Let's talk about funerals of the happy variety. See, back in the 70s, there were folks in Austin who liked music and Shinerbach. Trouble was, there wasn't always a delivery truck for Shinerbach. But there was a hippie man with a funeral car. Wisdom would say, don't put the fate of your beer in the hands of delivery hippies with hearses. Then again, wisdom does not drink.
Still swinging. Get your storm force impact windows from Relief Windows today. Call 337-456-1699. 456-1699.
All right, welcome back to the show. Want to welcome into the fourth chair tonight Derek Smith, Director of Golf at Mallard Cove, and he's getting ready for the 41st annual Lake Charles City Golf Championship.
Yes.
Congratulations. Welcome.
Wow.
Glad to have you in again to talk about this great event. Will the course be as difficult as Shinnecock?
Come
Somehow
on,
the
Rick.
rains, I
Come
doubt
on
it.
now, Rick.
Have y'all noticed over the last 5 years, like June is nothing but rain?
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we couldn't get it that bad if we tried to get it that bad, I don't think. 'cause
A lot of rain this week, though, but the tournament's
Too
coming
much
up this
rain.
weekend. What do you anticipate in the course and how it's going to play?
Greens have come around really well in the last probably 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah.
Actually, you know, I think we only had we didn't have any days in the month of May with rain.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
It was a dry
May
May.
was real dry, and the temperatures were above average every day in May. So we needed some rain. And we got some rain on Memorial Day weekend, which is the worst weekend to get rain.
Yeah.
So everything started popping real good. Greens are in real good shape. I mean, we had to do some areas and put some sod in a few bad areas, but I mean, that's all coming in. So, you know, city championship time, I mean, we want to be able to have the greens play quick.
Yeah.
I mean, we've been able to do it before, but it just seems over the last few years, the rain gets us, and there's too much moisture in the greens, and you can't make them fast.
Right.
Well, I mean, and that's fine. That's fine. I don't understand it. I mean, to me, it's not we're getting off track here. To me, it's not so much the speed of the greens, it's the USGA wants to make them so hard. But we'll move on. I don't think that's going to be a big
Derek,
problem.
just in looking at past
greens will hold a shot.
Yeah. Derek, looking in past years when you set the city championship up and everything, what has you come to realize at this point now, doing it for the 41st time, that you see a difference in years past? He hadn't done it, but
I've done 14 of them.
14. Okay, being at the course is that old. What have you seen in it that's a little bit different, and how you think it's challenging the golfers, especially the young ones?
Well, I mean, obviously the design of the golf course hasn't changed, and I think we have the best finishing hole for a competitive golf tournament, a championship tournament.
Yeah.
I mean,
no kidding.
Not that we want to get off on this other deal about, you know, where Mallard Cove's going sometime in the future, but the 18th hole on that golf course to finish a city championship, there are so many options to a player standing on that tee box, depending on where he's at in the tournament.
Exactly.
1 shot back, 2 shots back, 1 shot ahead, you know.
How he can play it.
Yeah, so I think that's where many tournaments, or I believe that's where many tournaments I've seen won or lost.
Yeah, no doubt.
By a shot.
No doubt.
On
Mallard
the
Cove
last
Director of
18th
Golf, Derek Smith, has joined us. Talk about the City Golf Championship, which kicks in for the championship round and the championship flight on Friday. That's a 3-round, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Some of the other flights will go Saturday and Sunday. I mean, a lot of the defending champs will be there. The names are well recognized. Some of the top amateurs in our region defending champ. Gage Primo is back, along with Billy Gabbard, along with Nicholas, Nathan Allen, Billy Gabbard.
No, I don't have Nathan Allen.
Oh, you do not? Okay, no. You do not. I thought he was. All right. So,
I thought he was too.
I don't have him in.
What is the overall field looking like number-wise? Because I know you announced it in the American press. You released a press release saying that, hey, I know with the weather, everybody's going to question that, and you're going to keep it open until about Wednesday.
We took about 30 entries over the phone this morning.
Good.
Oh, good.
Wow.
So I'm at about 144 players total.
Is that on average? Is that a good field? I mean, that's
what
I think that is, yeah.
Okay, that's a strong
That's a full
field.
field.
I'd like to have 160.
Yeah.
But we had 144.
Considering
Not bad.
The rough. All right. I play Mallard Cove, and sometimes I play it after the city championship, and there's rough. And that's another way you can make this course challenging, is it not?
That's about the only way.
Yeah, of course.
For us. I mean, if we can't, if the weather doesn't cooperate and we can't make the greens fast, meaning they stimp it at 12.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah.
And we're not going to be able to get there with the rain we're getting now.
Right.
What's the other defense? Make the rough tall.
Yeah. Well, pin placement though. No? Are these guys so good that the pin placement doesn't matter?
Well, okay. So we have this other tournament later at the end of July, the 2-man scramble to shine, and that's where we use those goofy pin placements on the slopes and things.
Yeah.
I like it when a pro says they're goofy.
I'm not.
Yeah, but it's a scramble. You do that.
Yeah.
But I'm not doing that for a stroke play city championship because I don't think that's fair.
Yeah.
But you
That makes
also-
sense.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, I mean, in our American press coverage, we'll focus on the city champion, the championship flight.
Yeah.
But you also have 6th, 7th, and 8th flights out there.
That's right.
Trying to play this golf.
The hackers, if you will.
You're
right. That's true too.
18, you know. The last flight down there, the 15, 16, 17, 18s. I mean, they're playing the same course that the guys are
Everybody
playing
else is playing.
from the blue tee, the championship tees.
That's right. That's
So-
right. All right, let's talk about the U.S. Open. You're a teaching professional. You saw the coverage. You saw what they had to do. Whose fault is it? Do you blame some of the fault on the USGA, or are the players just whining and complaining?
I was on Facebook this weekend with a bunch of Gulf State PGA section guys like myself. You know, we're kind of chewing the fat on this whole deal. And let me ask y'all a question first, and I'll answer it with my opinion then. But I'll say this. The origin of the USGA, way back when, 200 and however many years ago, or 300 some years ago, was to find a way to make the game fair for people with different abilities and skill levels. Right?
Okay.
And how did they start to make the game fair? By handicapping and with a few rules. A few rules for everybody to play by. So in my mind, the USGA was born out of trying to make the game fair for all. Now, when you watched the US Open this weekend, did you feel like that tournament gave you the feeling that they were making the game fair for all?
No, I did not.
They left too much to chance.
Were they making it fair for the people watching?
No.
It was not fun to watch.
When you say leave too much to chance, I want to understand you right. Saying that it had to have been hit perfect. Is that what you're saying?
No, I am saying that it was luck of the draw. We talked about the rough. All right, you shouldn't have hit it there. You hit it in the rough.
Well, that's kind of what,
you were penalized.
Yeah.
But these greens, the way they set it up, they were penalizing good shots.
Yes. Okay.
And I looked at it from that perspective, and I said, are they helping grow this game by putting a tournament on TV like this and making these guys struggle like they are after hitting a good shot? Is this helping to grow the game, or are people sitting at home going, why would I do that?
Yeah.
That's a good point.
I hear people say, hey, it's fun every now and then to see the pros struggle.
Yeah.
And it is.
It is.
Like when they have to play in really bad weather or something. We
Yeah.
all sit back and go, oh, yeah, they're just happy to
they're
hit
going to
the
mess it
green,
up. So.
Yeah, we had to do that.
You know, but that's not the way to do it.
I think the USGA, like other organizations, because they're so old, have forgot where they came from.
Yeah.
They forgot where
There's
they
a little bit of
started.
arrogance there. Okay, I agree with you on that. Now, it's good to get your opinion on that. All right. City Golf Championship. Go
Real
ahead.
quickly, the Mickelson deal. What would be your take on that?
Well,
I think Phil hit that putt, and he knew it was a goner when he hit it. And I think as soon as he knew that was a goner, he thought, well, let me show the people how stupid these greens are today. So he took off running.
Yeah.
But that's kind of out of character
and
for
then,
him.
but then I think after he stopped the ball with his stroke to reverse course. Then I think all of a sudden he went, oh, now I have to explain this.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Somehow, Derek, I don't know. I just don't blame him. I just don't blame him. We appreciate it. I'm sorry.
I think I would have done the same thing.
I think out of frustration, I would have done the same thing as well. All right. Have a great time. Hopefully the weather will get better. Big tournament for Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Look for great coverage from the American press. Lake Charles City Golf Championship.
Should be fun.
Always a pleasure, sir. All right, coming back in about 2 minutes. Stay right there.
Soundoff60 is brought to you by Jack Daniel's Bar and Grill at La Berge Casino Resort. The boys in the box will be right back.
For nearly 85 years, Merchants and Farmers Bank has provided dependable personal banking for Central and Southwest Louisiana. I saw your new boat last week, Chuck. Looks like fun. We have 8 convenient locations, checking and savings accounts, online bill pay, mortgage and personal loans, even a new app that allows you to take a picture of your paycheck and deposit it. Can't wait to see your kitchen remodel, Pam. Come in today to open a personal account. Merchants and Farmers, your future begins with our history.
You don't have to sacrifice taste to stay in the game. Miller Lite, always brewed to have more taste and be less filling. Miller Lite, hold true.
Enjoy a more reliable, responsible, intelligent, and connected indoor environment that easily adjusts to your preferences, no matter where you are. Uncompromising, unmistakable. Luxair. Get connected with a Luxair dealer near you by visiting luxair.com/solar supply.
Only one light beer has more taste, less calories, and half the carbs. This one. Miller Lite. Hold true.
All right, right, welcome back to the show. Many thanks to Derek Smith from Mallard Cove, giving us his opinions on the U.S.
Yes.
Open golf, the USGA, Phil Mickelson, and of course the City
You
Golf
guys won't let
Championship.
that go, you and Scooter,
That's always
will you?
fun when he gets into the 4 chairs. The weather should turn good. The course will be challenging.
Supposed to
enough.
rain up
It
until
should be fun.
Wednesday.
You guys will have coverage in the American press all weekend. City Golf Championship is really, I mean, they're all good, but this one really brings out all the good ones. It's traditional. 41 years of this thing been going on. Let's talk some baseball. College World Series.
Mm-hmm.
We touched on this over the last month or so. We saw Mississippi State here in McNeese. The Cowboys beat the Bulldogs.
Cowboys beat them.
That LSU.
About 3 weeks later, LSU took 2 out of 3 up from them, and I thought it was the worst SEC team
That's
I've
what
seen
you
in
said.
years.
Look what this team has overcome.
I know.
It's crazy.
Andy Cannizzaro fired due to some, not so good behavior out of the office. Okay, everybody knows that story.
Let's call it what it is, hanky-panky.
Hanky-panky.
Stop it.
Well, it was hanky-panky with a staffer.
Stop it.
Gary Henderson is the interim guy. What does he do? He gets through the LSU. He gets through the and they're in Omaha.
Yeah.
They win a regional. They win a super regional. They do well in the SEC tournament. They get this center fielder that's all everything, John Mangum. I mean, out of the blue, this is a good
Scooter,
this
you
is
didn't
a
see
legacy
that?
program.
You
though.
didn't see that?
This is a legacy program. This
In
is
Mississippi
a strong
State.
baseball
You didn't
program.
see it?
Mississippi State.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's
But
one of the
man.
best jobs in the country.
Yeah, out of the blue, though, man.
Yeah, I don't know where that, but that's baseball. You can get hot at the right time.
Yeah.
But
great story.
I
Great
mean,
story.
so far, I thought Oregon State was the best team I saw all year.
Yeah.
I think they're in a rain delay right now.
On
but they're
early in the week,
in an elimination game.
Elimination
game. Florida defending.
The number one seed, right?
And they did win. You know, if you're an LSU fan looking for a bright spot on the season, it hit me last night watching it. And so I went and figured it up. The 8 teams that are in Omaha right now, LSU this year went 9-4 against them.
Wow.
Interesting.
Are you serious, Scooter?
Interesting.
Wow.
Yeah.
I guess that is a bright side.
You know,
I guess we look at
Arkansas's
it.
there, Florida, top ranked.
Yeah.
They lose, and Mississippi State is just on a, I don't know, it could be destiny. I don't know. It'd be a great
That's
story.
what everybody's saying,
It'd be a
Rick.
great story.
That's what everybody's saying.
They're not that
Really?
good.
Obviously, we're wrong.
But,
Wow.
I don't know. I just go back to when you lose your head coach on a controversial kind of,
I know.
You know what I'm saying?
You would think
That's a
that would
lot to
fragment a
overcome.
team or it would break it up to some degree. Wow.
I mean, exactly. All right, so Arkansas, Rouse Tech. I did not see it. I did not see it. I was told Cody Clemens, the son of Roger Clemens, hit a home run.
I heard that.
Did somebody told me he
I heard
rounded
that.
the base, and I can't remember who, and did the hook 'em horns in front of the opposing bench. Now, not just do
Did he
this,
really?
but it was like,
From
hey.
what I've heard, and I'm missing,
Did he really?
that was
I was
during
told that.
Super Regionals, but he's done
Wow.
it a couple of times.
Has he?
Really?
From what I've heard lots of talk about him.
Really, Scooter? It's pretty
Suffice it
interesting.
to say, the Longhorns lost.
Yeah. Wow.
Sometimes karma comes back to
Yes,
bite
it
you in
does.
the rear.
They're
I
not
know.
eliminated.
I'm just saying.
And you can
Wow.
come back after
I know.
that
Look,
first loss.
he's a young guy.
A lot
but
of teams have
Come
done it.
on. Look, you just don't do that.
No, you don't.
I mean, you can do
don't.
this around the bay.
Yeah.
I wasn't saying it was right. Don't
No,
get
I
me
know
wrong.
that. I know that.
Okay.
I didn't see it. I was just told that.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, really? Clemens?
Roger Clemens' son? Roger
Yeah,
Clemens' son?
You know, legacy kind of a
It
thing?
does
Yeah, why
remind
you do
me,
that?
Watching it, what a great event that
It is.
though.
It really is.
But I've
It really
been
is.
there
I don't know.
100 times.
I know.
As we go to break, have the Houston Astros won 30 games straight already? I don't know. What is the
Something
number
like
up
that.
to? 11?
Man, they're close.
I mean, they got a
Something
series
not.
going on early
Yeah.
in the week against the Kansas
Well,
City Royals.
They're actually
11
close.
straight.
Since we don't get to watch them in Lake Charles, you know, maybe that's why
Yeah.
you're a little unclear.
I'll tell you, they I don't know, guys. I mean, they got
Could
it all.
they do it again?
I don't put it past them.
Wow.
Don't put it past them. All right, when we come back, what do we else we got to cover?
Just
Yeah.
wish we
We're going to
could.
talk Saints Hall of Fame, and we're going to
Yes.
talk a little NBA draft coming up. All
Yes.
right, we'll talk a little bit
Yes.
about that. Yeah, your favorite subject.
Why don't we talk World Cup
And,
while we're at it?
hey, Mexico won.
World
We
Cup.
got to ask the question though, because we never ask the ultimate question about Phil Mickelson. I'll ask it when we come back. All right, we'll take a pause. We're coming right back.
Jack Daniel's Bar and Grill at LeBerge Casino Resort, home of Soundoff60. Round 5 with the boys coming up.
It's triple digit season out here. Now chances are You won't crack open a light beer and suddenly find yourself in the middle of a crazy yet refreshing snowstorm, where a bunch of bikini models bring out more light beer to some crunchy classic rock riff. Nah. And anyways, you brought your own snow, and bikini models, and plenty of Shiner Light Blonde. Nice.
For nearly 85 years, Merchants and Farmers Bank has provided dependable personal banking for Central and Southwest Louisiana. I saw your new boat last week, Chuck. Looks like fun. We have 8 convenient locations, checking and savings accounts, online bill pay, mortgage and personal loans, even a new app that allows you to take a picture of your paycheck and deposit it. Can't wait to see your kitchen remodel, Pam. Come in today to open a personal account. Merchants and Farmers, your future begins with our history.
But Relief Windows is going to get quality. We're going to make sure that the job is actually ordered correctly. Experienced measure tech, experienced salesman, experienced installer. Service. Customer satisfaction, that's our number 1 product. At Relief Windows, you're going to get somebody going to show up on time, do what they say they're going to do. Nobody's going to run with your money. We're going to take care of you. At Relief Windows, we're not only windows, we're windows, doors, hardy plank, and vinyl siding. But our number 1 product is customer satisfaction.
All right, welcome back to the show. We want to welcome in our resident orthopedic expert surgeon, Dr. Brett Cassio, to talk about a subject that is right now close to our hearts when it comes to your wings and your shoulders. But we're going to broaden that, Doc, and talk about shoulder injuries to a large
in
degree.
general.
I hope you've been having a great summer. I know you're busy. You're always doing surgery.
That little league, that little league, Doc is all over town with the little leagues. I mean, he's everywhere.
Baseball's almost over.
Yeah.
Almost over, but not
Little
just
League
yet.
Championships are this week and next week.
And I guess one of your teams is in it.
Both my older boys play on a team together.
Did we tell you last year when Doc came on that his team, both of them have salary caps? I mentioned that to you, Rick.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Unlimited snowballs.
Yeah, limited snowballs, ice cream, and lollipops. There you go. All right. Before we get into more specifically Mr. Guidry's issues and kind of parlay that into the general.
Just the shoulder issues.
Yeah, that's it.
Just the shoulder. Nothing up here. Okay. We talk about that.
Hopefully.
Shoulder injury. How complex are shoulder injuries and finding the solution, be it therapy, be it surgery, or some other stem cell stuff, all this new wave medicine that you guys are doing in your field of orthopedic sports medicine?
Always, surgery is the last thing you want to do on a shoulder because it's just such a long rehab.
Yeah.
Shoulders are complex because of all the muscles that attach.
They are complex?
They are.
Oh, they are. Okay.
They're complex, probably more complex than the knee, for instance. Yeah. The knee is more of a hinge joint. It just goes one direction, front and back. Shoulder goes all over.
Yep.
So with the shoulder, you gotta balance it just right. You gotta make it just loose enough, but just stiff enough also. So when you have a young athlete, they tend to want to be too loose, and so the ball is sliding out of the socket. So you got to tighten them up, but you don't want to tighten them up too much because then they can't lift their arm up. It depends. It's position dependent, but you don't want to over tighten them. As people get older, they tend to have more of a problem with stiffness, not so much the ball popping out of the socket, but that the ball doesn't move enough in the socket. So it's a lot of you have to worry about their age and what do they want to do with their shoulder.
Right. Quality of life. How many is it prevalent now? Rotator cuff surgeries? Is it getting more and more?
In the population, as you get older, shoulder rotator cuff tears happen more and more often. So once you get to 50 or 60 years old, pretty much about half the population will have a rotator cuff tear at that point.
Yeah.
Once you get, it's almost like for men with prostate cancer. Almost everybody gets it eventually, but not everybody feels it. So a lot of people have what we call asymptomatic rotator cuff tear. You don't necessarily have to do anything about that. But we always try to fix it without surgery.
Yeah.
So that's the therapy, the rest. Maybe you could do something a little different, activity modification, that's what it's called. Usually a rotator cuff problem will give you a lot of problems with overhead activity, so if you could stop doing that.
Yeah.
Keep playing tennis, but hit underhanded instead.
Like go to the doctor, hey doc, it hurts. The doc says, don't do that anymore.
That's right.
That ushers in your question.
Yeah.
We've gotten into some regenerative medicine in the last few years, which some people call stem cells, amniotic tissue, platelet therapies, those kind of things. Physical therapy, chiropractic therapy, all very important. But if none of that works, and they still can't, the patient can't do what they want to do, or they can't sleep at night, or they can't concentrate when they're at work, well, then we start talking about surgery. And the two big things in the shoulder are the labrum and the rotator cuff.
Yeah, heard that before.
Okay, beyond people once they turn 50, when you're dealing with kids, is baseball far and away the biggest culprit in injuring shoulders, or how does that compare across sports?
So for shoulder pain in general, it's going to be the little league shoulder is the biggest issue. For surgery, it's going to be the high school contact football player or contact sports player that's going to dislocate the shoulder. That's going to be the biggest reason for surgery.
Right.
Now, there's something on the female side called multi-directional instability. So if you look at your swimmers, your volleyball players, your overhand throwers, these young ladies have very limber joints, loose shoulders, and their shoulder basically moves around too much. Now, it's a double-edged sword because they can whip their arm is why they can throw so hard or spike the ball so hard.
Yeah.
But it causes some issues in the shoulder with it moving around so much it can tear some of the things that are in that shoulder to keep it in the socket.
I just want to first of all say I want to commend Doc Cassio, because let me tell you what happened. Right now I'm in therapy, and there are two other guys that had the exact same thing done on the exact same day, but with different doctors. Out of the three, I am the most advanced for how my therapy is coming. I don't know if it's because me as an individual, because I'm just very.
That's what it is. It's not the physician. It's
you know,
definitely the
I
specimen.
know if I'm just, you know, just basically just so competitive. But let me tell you guys, it had gotten so bad to where the quality of life for me at night sleeping was just, it was null and void.
Right.
I couldn't do it. And Doc came and he said, Kevin, he said, you know what, you need to get this done because you want to have better quality of life than what you're having now. And when he looked at it, I'll let you guys, let Doc tell you guys what it is that he saw when he x-rayed my shoulder and actually looked at it.
Well, he had some wear and tear over the years, obviously because of his athleticism history. But on top of that, he had a big tear that was not going to heal. A full rotator cuff very rarely, if ever, will heal, especially if it starts pulling back or retracting away from where it attaches on the ball and socket joint. So once you see that, he can't sleep at night, can't do what he wants to do, very active guy.
Yeah.
It just wasn't going to work for him. His quality of life was really suffering.
Yeah.
Dr. Brett Cassio has joined us from Cassio Sports Medicine here in Lake Charles, now located on Nelson Road in Lake Charles, affiliated with Memorial Hospital and their orthopedic sports medicine unit. You've been doing this a long time. You're considered one of the top guys, if not the top guy in the region for shoulders.
Thank you. I'll take your word for that.
Every time I hear this talk about shoulder, and everybody has a little ache and a pain, but let me tell you, you just don't realize what you do with your shoulder.
Yeah.
I think I would rather a back problem than a shoulder problem, okay?
Yeah.
And you're right, it just seems to linger and linger on. You did something for me, and you know, we'll sign off all the HIPAA stuff. You shot my elbow with cortisone to just relieve, okay? Can you do that to a shoulder? Is that
absolutely?
Hard?
We do it a lot. That's one of those
non-operative
conservative treatments.
Exactly what it is, Rick.
Well, if you don't have a full tear, okay, if you're just dealing with a partial tear or inflammation, the steroid is a good drug for that.
Okay.
Okay. If you're dealing with a full tear, again, a lot of those aren't going to heal with just the shot.
All right. Everybody knows about the Drew Brees shoulder.
Yeah.
I mean, that was bad.
That was more of a labrum. And it was all the way around the cup. You have a ball and a socket. It was all the way around the socket. So he had a horrible labrum.
Horrible injury. Andrew Luck, Indianapolis Colts quarterback. He hasn't thrown the ball, guys, in over a season and a third, maybe.
Close to a year.
He's just now starting to throw something like little mini football or something.
Yeah.
You don't know his case. I understand that. But does that lead to the earlier statement that the shoulder is a complex situation and you better not rush it, or possibly his career might be over? I'm just theorizing.
So I always tell people this, and in sports medicine, a third of the surgery, or a third of the recovery is going to be the surgery. A third is the therapy and the rehab.
Yeah.
And then a third is mental. Because the athlete cannot go back and play until they trust their arm, leg, whatever it is.
That's true.
And they can control it and have that control that athletes have a certain genius about the way they can control their body, and they know where their arm, leg is in space.
Right.
And until they get that back, they're not going to be what they were before.
That's true. I can vouch for that.
Well, as we
That's
wrap
true.
it up, more and more when it comes to
when did you go to med school?
No.
Yeah,
It's sometimes what Doc is saying is true.
Only sometimes.
There's a mental part of it, and when I first started out with the therapy, I had honestly got disgusted because I said, because I didn't want to be where I wanted to be.
Right.
Because he said, Kev, you got to slow it down, man.
Well, it's
You
hard,
got-
isn't it, Doc?
Yeah.
Very hard. It hurts a lot.
Yeah.
It does.
Hobbs touched on it with youth baseball. As my final question to you, more and more, you hear it on the high school level, college level, and in the pros with quarterbacks. You've got to get the ball to the receiver. It's arm strength, arm strength. You're seeing more and more of that zip getting the ball in. Are you advising at certain ages? Let's talk about the kiddos out there, 12 and 13, getting into high school, just like baseball, but now we're centered on football because we're getting close to the football season. Should they gauge how many balls they're throwing? And the
Absolutely.
distance? I mean,
Yeah.
because you can do damage to a young shoulder.
No question. You have to have good instruction.
Yeah.
You have good supervision, and you have to count throws and pitches.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. We appreciate it. Good insight. What?
We
what
have
you
to
got?
go like right now. One of
got
the things
one
I
more.
wanted to bring up, Doc, for the foundation, the F3 Foundation, did you guys get a chance to mention what they're doing for Calcasieu Parish football players, sports with the helmet? Could you talk a little bit about that?
This has been a project for years, trying to help avoid concussions in our parish. Memorial Hospital just made a purchase of 600 helmets for Calcasieu Parish schools. Every varsity football player in the parish is going to have a Rydell helmet that has the special technology in it to alert the athletic trainer when too many G-forces were impacted on the helmet and where they impacted. So top of the head, side of the head, and it alerts the trainer to go and check on the player. It also alerts the coaches on if a player's hitting with their head down or not. So it's an instruction tool as well as a way to check on certain players and keep them safe.
And one of the things that's so great, a lot of parents were contacting a lot of ex-football players saying, is it safe really, Kevin, for my kid to play ball?
It's a big
Now I
question
can
now.
say with those helmets and the technology, I mean, and what Doc also mentioned, he alluded to, is that this is going to also be watched during practice, not only in a game. So because even in practice, Rick, if a kid gets hit in the head too many times, they can take him out
This is
because
very
what's being
interesting.
monitored
I did not hear about
on the
this.
trainers. Yes,
We're pushing
it's some
the
pretty
time
good
limit,
technology.
but we're going to have you back.
It is.
at the
That's why I
beginning
wanted
of
to
the
mention
year.
that,
You're
though. It's
saying
pretty good.
every
It was
high school
it was
player in the-
over
in-
a $100,000 investment, and they also bought the helmets for McNeese as well.
Exactly.
Every high school football
Yes.
player will
Varsity football player.
Varsity
That will
football
see
player.
the
Special
field.
helmet.
Yes.
Exactly.
Interesting. Hold that thought.
Yes.
When we get back in August, we're going to
That's
take
good
this
stuff.
because I want the parents and the coaches. That's
Definitely.
interesting. I did not know that.
Yeah.
Good point. Doc, we appreciate it. All right, he's fixing up Guidry. The wing is there.
I'm getting there.
When you gonna
I
get
just
back
got to
on
be
the golf
patient.
course? Pretty soon?
I just got to,
All right, we're
that
taking
might
a pause. We're
increase
coming right
my
back
game.
to Soundoff60. Stay right there.
Soundoff60 is brought to you by our friends at Jack Daniel's Bar and Grill at La Berge Casino Resort. Soundoff60 24/7 online at soundoff60tv.com.
This is Brandon Holly, 6'2", former college football player. He and his steel crowbar can't get through this storm force impact window from Relief Windows. Call 337-456-1699.
For more taste, less calories, and half the carbs, there's only one light beer to grab. Miller Lite. Hold true.
For nearly 85 years, Merchants and Farmers Bank has provided dependable personal banking for Central and Southwest Louisiana. I saw your new boat last week, Chuck. Looks like fun. We have 8 convenient locations: checking and savings accounts, online bill pay, mortgage and personal loans, even a new app that allows you to take a picture of your paycheck and deposit it. Can't wait to see your kitchen remodel, Pam. Come in today to open a personal account. Merchants and Farmers, your future begins with our history.
On or off the field, training and experience matter. As a board-certified and fellowship-trained surgeon, Dr. Brett Cassio has the training and experience to help you get back in the game. Award-winning research, the latest orthopedic techniques, right here at home. Cassio Sports Medicine.
You don't have to sacrifice taste to stay in the game. Miller Lite, always brewed to have more taste and be less filling. Miller Lite, hold true.
Still swinging. Get your Stormforce impact windows from Relief Windows today. Call 337-456-1699. 456-1699.
Can't help
All right,
anybody right now,
welcome back
Scooter.
to the show. How you feeling there, wing boy on the end?
Time to take them meds.
Many thanks to Dr. Brett Cassio for joining us earlier.
For coming on. Great job.
To talk about shoulder operations, rotator cuff
It's
injuries.
complex, Rick. I didn't realize how complex, but he showed me some of the
is.
stuff.
If you've ever
It's complex,
had
man.
a shoulder problem, you've had elbow problems, I have elbow problems, back problems, I'm telling you, when you can't wash your head,
man.
shampoo, when you can't brush your teeth,
It's
because
bad.
of a bad shoulder, holy
It's bad.
smokes.
And
man.
the recovery time, Rick, people will tell you, you can't rush it because you'll find yourself going back into surgery. Doctor
see
want to
how you're
scare
doing
me
it, man.
by saying that, though, but you
I don't
can't
see how
rush
you're
it,
doing
man.
I really
it's
don't.
tough,
so
man.
continued success.
I'm
with
hanging
your,
in there
with
with
your
it,
therapy.
man. I'm hanging in.
Of course, Doc Cassio, he is the top orthopedic
There's no doubt.
surgeon in our area, and we're going to talk more about that as look. It's a good time to mention. Next week's show will be our last show of the
Yes, it
broadcast
will.
season. We'll take a break for the month of July.
For the month of July. We'll come back in August.
6th. But when we come back at some point in August, I want to get that helmet in here.
That's right
I
before the
wanna
kids
learn more
start up.
about that.
That's something parents need to know.
You know, I'll come out and say it right now. I got a boy who's turning about 13.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm taking the Buford Jordan approach. And I ran into Buford Jordan probably about a year ago. Ran into him at a golf tournament. And he stated for the record, what he knows now, he would not have let his son play football.
Yeah.
Of what he knows now.
And
I don't know. I mean, football is at that level even. These kids are huge in the junior high level.
And can run, Rick. That's the thing. That much size with that much speed, Rick, you can hurt
and
someone.
Power. So
you
I'm
can
glad
hurt
to
someone,
see
man.
This technology is catching
it's
up.
we'll
big
talk
time.
More
more about that with this technological Rydell helmet and how it can monitor hits and stuff. That's interesting. All right. Speaking of football, Saints Hall of Fame.
Yes.
I found it interesting over the weekend and glad to see it. Lance Moore and Pierre Thomas get into the Saints Hall of Fame.
To me, what great choices.
Great guys.
I mean, neither one were drafted, I don't believe, were they?
No.
Or if
To
they
the Saints?
were, it was last round, maybe.
Pierre Thomas might have been.
If it was the
I'd have to
last
check on
round.
that. Yeah, it was,
What?
He came out of Illinois, I believe.
Yeah. But wasn't he pretty big in the Super Bowl for the Saints?
Yeah, a little bit.
I think that helped. Yeah, I think that helped.
Lance Moore,
I think
forget
that helped.
2-point conversion.
2-point conversion.
Lance
Yeah.
Moore had
Yeah.
Good guys. The stats
They are,
supported.
community-wise.
I think Moore is like 5th in receiving all time.
Really?
Pierre Thomas, 4th all-time rushing. Good character guys, just down to earth. I mean, just good Saints. Glad to see
I have to
that.
agree with you on that,
Glad
Rick.
to
I
see
do.
them get into the
I do, Rick.
into the
Well
Hall.
deserving of both of them, man.
Yeah. All right. NBA draft later this week. It's going to make
Yes.
a lot of
let's
headlines
don't
on that.
talk about that.
Well, you know, look.
Go ahead. All right, go ahead.
I just want to know where LeBron is going. That's what I want to know. Where LeBron is going. That's what I want to know. That's all I want to know.
I think his name, DeAndre Anton from Arizona, will probably go number 1 to the
Yeah.
Suns. What I'm really interested in is this NCAA Final Four MVP, Dante DiVincenzo
Yeah.
from Villanova.
Yeah.
He's a reserve for most of the year. He comes off the bench. He gets MVP.
Yeah.
He strikes goal in the Final Four. He's slotted to go mid-first round above starters on his own team.
Yeah.
DiVincenzo.
Yeah.
He's Italian. I'm
It
going to
can
root
do
for
that.
him.
It can do that for you, Rick.
I'm
Yeah,
going to
man.
root for him. I mean, that's just great.
It is, man.
I mean, it could be an interesting draft. It's
Going to be an
later on in
interesting
the week.
season for
NBA
NBA basketball. I
Good
promise you.
show, Kevin. Hobbs.
We didn't get around the World Cup, but that's okay.
As we go.
Because the United States isn't in the World Cup.
It is not. It is not.
Well, you know my feeling on that.
Biggest sporting
If
event in the
United
world.
States of America's going to suck at something,
Yeah.
I'd just soon it be soccer.
Soccer.
So close-minded.
He
as
is.
we end
He
this,
is.
as we wrap up this show, if you're sitting there at the U.S. Open, you're head of the USGA, do you disqualify Phil Mickelson? That's the question.
He's a legend,
right
man.
I'm not sure that
No.
Pull his club.
Phil's a
That
legend.
might
No.
have been too strong.
Yeah,
but
Phil's a legend. You can't do that, Rick. No, Phil's a legend. He's a legend.
You
man.
don't like Mickelson.
no,
I love
not
him.
a big
no,
He's one of my
I came
favorite golfers.
around on Mickelson.
Oh,
No.
really?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
Really?
You know why I love him, right? Because he's a lefty.
I know.
That's it.
No,
that's all.
I
That's
say
enough
they
for me.
did the right thing.
Yeah, they did. He's a
screwed up
legend. You
everything
can't do
about
that
the
to
course,
Phil, man.
But
No.
they did the right thing
can't,
about
Rick.
just giving him the two-stroke penalty.
You can't.
Because the course was just.
A lot of people wanted him to.
Oh,
do
I know.
Yeah.
I know. They
Yeah.
did. All right, that's going to
Yeah.
wrap it up. Thanks for
Great show,
spending
guys.
some time with us on your evening hours. We'll do it all again next time, everybody. So long.
Soundoff60 airs on Suddenlink Cable Channel 4 Monday through Sunday nights at 9 and again Saturday and Sunday mornings at 10. Soundoff60 also airs throughout Southwest Louisiana on Vive Broadband Channel 6 at 9 p.m. Check your local listings. Post your questions and comments for the guys and access our website and our great advertising partners at soundoff60tv.com.